Hi students, we already discussed the synopsis points related to the chapter Chemistry in Everyday Life in the last video. In this video, I am going to discuss some questions with answers on the chapter Chemistry in Everyday Life. My first question: which of the following is not true about drug receptors? Remember, see once again my question. Which of the following is not true about drug receptors? Option A: receptor proteins are embedded in the cell membrane. Option B: the chemical known as chemical messengers are received at the binding sites of the receptors. Option C: the receptors show selectivity for one chemical messenger over the other. And option D: receptor protein is decomposed and destroyed after removal of chemical messenger. Already you know about drug receptors. Receptor is a macromolecule in the membrane or inside the cell that is specifically bind a ligand, that is drug. Then if you observe these 3 points, receptor proteins are embedded in the cell membrane, it is right. The chemical known as chemical messengers are received at the binding sites of receptor is also right. The receptors show selectivity for one chemical messenger over the other. This is also right statements. But observe the last statement: receptor protein is decomposed and destroyed after removal of chemical messenger. This is wrong because receptor gains its structure and shape after the removal of chemical messenger is the right concept. Remember, receptor regains its structure and shape after removal of chemical messenger. That is the right answer, but here they given a wrong statement. Therefore, according to your question, what is your question? Which of the following is not true about drug receptor? Therefore, your answer is D. Next, question number 2. Some drugs do not bind to the enzyme active site. See clearly, some drugs do not bind to the enzyme active site, instead bind to the different site of enzyme. This site is called, if you know the definitions of all type of sites, then it is very easy to answer this question. Some drugs do not bind to the enzyme's active site, instead bind to a different site of enzyme. This is called options: allosteric site, substrate site, ionic site, competitive site. If you know the concept, what is the meaning of allosteric site? Remember, it is the place on an enzyme where the molecule that is not a substrate may bind, thus changing the shape of the enzyme and influencing its ability to be active. Therefore, according to this statement, this is the definition of allosteric site, because here some drugs do not bind the enzyme's active site. Other than active site, they bind a different site of the enzyme. The different site of enzyme is called allosteric site. Therefore, no doubt this is your answer. According to the definition only, you can write the answer for this question. Next question number 3. What type of forces bind the substrate to the active site of enzyme? Which type of forces are involved in presence of binding the substrate to the active site of enzyme? Options are ionic bonding, hydrogen bonding, van der Waals forces, all of the above. Remember students, if the substance bind to the active of the enzyme through ionic bonding, hydrogen bonding, van der Waals forces or van der Waals interaction or dipole-dipole interaction, all these concepts are involved. Therefore, your answer is all of the above. Next, drugs that bind to the receptor site and inhibits its natural functions are called. I think in the synopsis points already you discussed about what are agonist drugs and what are antagonist drugs. If you remember that concept, this is also very easy to answer this question. See here, my question is drugs that bind to the receptor site and inhibits its natural function are called options: agonist drugs, antagonist drugs, antimicrobial drugs and allosteric drugs. You know what are agonist drugs? These are the drugs which are interact with the receptor and activate that receptor. And antagonist drugs are, these are also a drugs or chemical substance which interact with the receptor and inhibits its growth or inhibits the functions of the receptor. And these antimicrobial drugs related to the microbes or fight against with the microbes. Okay, this is now nothing but allosteric drugs. Definitely your answer is antagonist drugs. Next, question number 5. The drugs which are given to the patient suffering from anxiety and mental tensions are known as option A, tranquilizers, option B, analgesics, option C, antimicrobials, option D, antibiotics. Students, you know, the diseases like anxiety and mental tensions like stress are related to the mental diseases. At the time, the patients refer a neurologically active drugs. In that, my option A is tranquilizers. What are tranquilizers? These are the chemical substance or drugs which helps to the patient suffering from stress, anxiety, like mental diseases, and these type of substance build confidence in the patients suffering from anxiety, mental tension, etc. And analgesics, these are also a chemical substance which reduce the body pain. And antimicrobials, these are also a drugs which fight against with microbes. And what are antibiotics? These are also a chemical substance which are derived from living tissues and prevent the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, our answer is A. Next, question number 6. Which of the following statement is not correct? See here, which of the following statement is not correct? In that, option A, antiseptics can be safely applied to the living tissues. Antiseptics can be safely applied to the living tissue. Yes, this is right, because antiseptics, take an example, hydrogen peroxide, Dettol. They are very helpful to living tissues and safely applied to the living tissues. And option B, antiseptics can be incorporated into deodorants, face powders and soaps. Definitely these deodorants, face powders containing some antiseptics. Therefore, this is also right statement. And option C, disinfectants can also be applied to the skin safely. Is it right? No. these disinfectants are not used for skin because they can injure the skin and other tissues. Therefore, this statement is not correct. See option D. A very dilute solution of few disinfectants can be used as antiseptics. If you take an example, 0.2% of phenol, it acts as an antiseptic, but 2% of phenol act as disinfectant. Therefore, option D is also right. But wrong statement here is disinfectants can also be applied to the skin safely. This is our answer. Next, question number 7. Antihistamines are not helpful. Antihistamines are not helpful. Option A, in curing nasal allergies. B, in treating rashes caused by itching. Option C, in bringing down acute fever. Option D, in vasodilation. Before going to this question, first what are antihistamines? What are antihistamines? These are the chemical substance which prevent the allergic actions. In that options, A, in curing nasal allergies, means nasal allergies also removed or prevent by using antihistamine drugs. In treating rashes caused by itching, in this point also antihistamines are helpful. In bringing down acute fever, remember this fever are cured by presence of antipyretic drugs. Here antihistamines are not used because antipyretics are the chemical substance which bring down the body temperature. Next, option D, in vasodilation. Vasodilation means widening of blood vessels. During this time also antihistamines are used. Therefore, our answer is option C. Next, question number 8. The main cause of acidity in the stomach is, remember my question, the main cause of acidity in the stomach is, options are A, release of extra gastric acids which decrease the pH level, and option B, indigestion and pain in the large intestine. Option C, increase the pH level in the stomach. Option D, release of extra bile juice which increase alkaline medium in stomach. See here, students, what is the acid present in the stomach? Definitely that is hydrochloric acid. On average, adult stomach produce around 1.5 liter of gastric acid every day. Remember this concept, an average adult stomach produce around 1.5 liter of a gastric acid every day. And another one important concept related to this question is, a lower pH means our blood is more acidic. Lower pH means blood is more acidic, while higher pH means our blood is more basic. pH of blood should be 7.4. Because of this point, if you know this concept, then your answer is definitely A. Because my question is, the main cause of acidity means increase in the acidity in stomach is because of decrease in the pH level. Therefore, your answer is A. Answer is A. My next question, question number 9. Match the drugs in column 1 with the examples given in column 2 and mark the appropriate choice. In column 1, they given some drugs, and in column 2, they given some examples. Okay, in column 1, they given antibiotic antiseptics, analgesics and tranquilizers. In column 2 they given codeine, phenelzine, chloramphenicol and chloroxylenol. Remember students, this codeine is one of the painkiller drug and phenelzine is an example for tranquilizer and act as antidepressant. This chloramphenicol, it is used for the diseases like dysentery, plague, typhoid, etc. And chloroxylenol, it is also known as parachloromethaxylenol, and it is also used to destroy the bacteria, fungi and viruses, etc. Therefore, the correct matching for column 1 and column 2 is, codeine is a painkiller, means it is an example for analgesics. Phenelzine is an example for tranquilizers. And antibiotics, antiseptics, definitely the answer is D. D is the right answer. Next, question number 10. Which of the following statement is not correct? See my question. Which of the following statement is not correct here? Option A. Some disinfectants can be used an antiseptic at low concentration. In the last question we already discussed 0.2% of phenol act as antiseptic, 2% of phenol act as disinfectant. Therefore, option A is right statement. Next, option B. Aspirin is analgesics and antipyretic. Remember students, aspirin is the chemical drug which act as both analgesics and antipyretics. Therefore, this is also right statement. Option C. Norethindrone is an antihistamine. Is it right? No, because norethindrone is the drug, and norethindrone is the drug. It is a best example for anti-fertility drug. It is not an antihistamine. Therefore, this is wrong statement. Next, option D. Chloramphenicol is broad spectrum antibiotic. Yes, what is that broad spectrum antibiotic? These are the antibiotics act against a wide range of diseases causing bacteria. Here, chloramphenicol, you already know, it is used to destroy the plague, typhoid like diseases. Therefore, your answer option C. It is norethindrone. It is not an antihistamine. It is one of the anti-fertility drug. Next, question number 11. Which of the following statements is not correct about penicillin? Penicillin, it is one of the antibiotic and it is derived from living tissue, fungi, one of the fungi, Penicillium notatum. Okay, option A, penicillin G has a narrow spectrum. Option B, it is extracted from antibacterial fungus Penicillium. Okay, one of the fungi. Okay. And C, ampicillin and amoxicillin are synthetic modifications of penicillin. It has bacteriostatic effect. Before going to the answer for this question, first what is the broad spectrum and narrow spectrum of antibiotics. Already broad spectrum antibiotics means these type of antibiotics act against a wide range of diseases which are caused by bacteria. Narrow spectrum antibiotic means antibiotics that is only able to kill or inhibits the limited species of bacteria. Therefore, penicillin has a narrow spectrum. This is right statement. And it is extracted from antibacterial fungi Penicillium notatum. It is also right statement. Ampicillin and amoxicillins are related to the penicillin G antibiotic. In option D, they given it has bacteriostatic effect. Bacteriostatic effect. Yes, what are these bacteriostatic effect? There are two types of effects, bacteriostatic and bactericidal. Bacteriostatic means they prevent the growth of bacteria, but bactericidal means kill the bacteria. Here the given penicillin has bacteriostatic effect. This is wrong because penicillin has bactericidal effect. Therefore, this is the statement which is not related to penicillin. Means it is not correct statement related to the penicillin. Option D is the right answer. Okay, move to the next question. Next question number 12. Antiseptics are the chemicals which either dash or dash the growth of microorganisms and are applied to the dash. This is like fill in the blank question. See my question once again. Antiseptics are the chemicals which either dash or dash the growth of microorganisms and applied to the dash. Options are A. Kill, prevent living tissues. Kill, prevent non-living objects. Increase, decrease living tissues. And option D. Kill, increase non-living tissues. Students, you know, antiseptics are the chemical substance which are used to kill or prevent the growth of microorganisms, and they are safe for the living tissues. If you know this concept, you directly answer this question. Your answer is answer A. Answer is A. Next question number 13. Which of the following is scientific explanation of depression? Which of the following is scientific explanation of depression? My options: A. An increased level of sugar in the blood leads to depression. An increased level of sugar in blood leads to depression. Not leads to depression, it leads to diabetes. Option B. Low levels of noradrenaline, a neurotransmitter in the blood, leads to depression. Option C. Release of extra gastric juice in the stomach leads to depression. Release of extra gastric juice in the stomach leads to depression. No. Here, extra gastric juice in the stomach, it leads to acidity. Option D. Sleep inducing drugs leads to depression. Students, in the option B, they given about noradrenaline. First, you know the concept. Noradrenaline is a neurotransmitter. It is one of the neurotransmitter that plays a role in mood swings. The levels of this lowers the signals sending activity and make the person suffer from depression. Means the level of this noradrenaline lowers the signal sending activity and make the person suffer from depression. Means if the level of noradrenaline decreases and automatically the signal sending activity is also decreases. at the time the person suffer from depression. Therefore, your answer is B, because it is the scientific explanation of formation of the depression. Next, question number 14. Which of the following is not true about anti-fertility drug? Among these statements, which is not true about anti-fertility drugs? Option A, birth control pills contain a mixture of synthetic estrogen and progesterone. Both compounds is that estrogen and progesterone are vitamins? No, these not are vitamins, because estrogen and progesterones are the hormones. Progesterone is supposed to suppress the ovulation. Option D, norethindrone is an example for synthetic progesterone derivative. Yes, which one is your answer? Definitely B is the statement, is one of the wrong statement, because both estrogen and progesterone are hormones, they are not vitamins. Therefore, it is not true about anti-fertility drugs. Next, question number 15. Aspartame is one of the good artificial sweetener whose use is. Aspartame is one of the good artificial sweeteners whose use is limited to cold foods and soft drinks because. Remember, aspartame, it is one of the artificial sweetener. Option A, aspartame has very high boiling point. Option B, aspartame gets unstable at cooking temperature. Option C, aspartame is sweetener at low temperature only. Option D, aspartame is not soluble at high temperature. Remember students, aspartame it is one of the artificial sweetener which helps to the patient suffering from diabetes usually, and it becomes unstable at high temperature. Remember this point, aspartame at high temperature it becomes unstable. If you know this concept, definitely your answer is B. Next, question number 16. The main constituents of Dettol are. What is the composition of Dettol? It is direct theoretical question. If you know the concept, then you directly answer for this question. The main constituents of Dettol are chlorophenol and glycerol, 2-3% solution of iodine in alcohol. Option C, 0.2% solution of phenol. Option D, chloroxylenol and terpene oil. This answer, if you know the concept, Dettol, it is the mixture of chloroxylenol and alpha terpene oil, then your answer would be option D, because remember Dettol, it is the mixture of chloroxylenol and alpha terpene oil. This is your right answer, chloroxylenol and terpene oil. Next, question number 17. Which of the following antibiotic is bactericidal? Bactericidal. You know, bactericidal antibiotics means they kill the bacteria. Options are chlorophenicol, erythromycin, penicillin, both A and C. Both A and C. Okay, which one is your answer? Remember, chlorophenicol, erythromycin, penicillin, all these are antibiotics. But remember, chlorophenicol and penicillin, they are the bactericidal antibiotics, but erythromycin is one of the bacteriostatic antibiotic. Remember, erythromycin is an example for bacteriostatic example, means they only prevent the growth of bacteria. Erythromycin It only prevent the growth of bacteria, but chloramphenicol and penicillin, they kill the microorganisms. Therefore, they comes in under bactericidal antibiotics. Therefore, your answer is both A and C. Next question number 18. What is the tincture of iodine? This is also the direct theoretical question. Tincture of iodine. Tincture of iodine. Remember, options are given is that A 2 to 3% solution of iodine in alcohol and water mixture, a mixture of iodine in chloroxylenol, a mixture of 0.2% phenol and 2 to 3% of iodine in water. Option D 2 to 3% solution of iodine in potassium iodide. Remember, the 2 to 3% solution of iodine in alcohol water mixture is called as tincture of iodine. Students, according to the concept, 2 to 3% solution of iodine in alcohol water mixture is called as tincture of iodine. Therefore, our answer for this question is A. Next, question number 19. Which of the following enhance lathering property of soap? Which of the following enhance the lathering property of soap? Enhance means which gives lathering property of soap. Options: sodium carbonate, option B sodium rosinate, option D sodium stearate, option D trisodium phosphate. Remember students, here one of the very important lathering property of soap substance is given, that is sodium rosinate. Remember, sodium rosinate, it is one of the fluid containing highly viscous solution. Remember, sodium rosinate, it is one of the fluid containing highly viscous solution. The formula means molecular formula of sodium rosinate is C20H29 NaO2. NaO2. This sodium rosinate, it enhances the lathering property of soap. Because of that point, sodium rosinate is added to the soaps. Therefore, answer is B. Next, question number 20. Question number 20. Glycerol is added to soap. It functions. Option A as a filler. Option B to increase lathering. Option C to prevent the rapid drying. Option D to make soap granules. Remember, glycerol is added to the soap because it prevents the rapid drying. What is the necessary of adding glycerol to soap? It prevents the drying property of soap. Therefore, the correct answer for this question is option C. Next, question number 21. Polyethylene glycols are used in the preparation of which type of detergents? Polyethylene glycols are used in the preparation of which type of detergents? Remember, this is also direct question. If you know the concept, you can easily identify the answer. Options are given: cationic detergents, anionic detergents, non-ionic detergents, and soaps. Definitely the answer is non-ionic detergents. In presence of preparation of non-ionic detergents, polyethylene glycols are used. Therefore, our answer is C. Next, which of the following will not enhance the nutritional value of food? Which of the following will not enhance the nutritional value of food? Options are minerals, artificial sweeteners, vitamins, amino acids. What is our answer? Minerals, artificial sweeteners, vitamins, amino acids. Definitely our answer is B. Why? Because B option is artificial sweeteners. These are the chemical substance which gives more sweetness to the food. But vitamins, minerals, amino acids act as a food preservatives. They enhance the nutritional value of food, but artificials, they do not enhance the nutritional value of food. Therefore, our answer is artificial sweeteners. Next, question number 23. What is the problem faced while using Alitame as artificial sweetener? Repeat my question. What is the problem faced while using Alitame as artificial sweetener? Students, already you know Alitame is also an example for artificial sweetener, and it is one of the high potency sweetener. Remember, it is one of the high potency artificial sweetener, and it is one of the aspartic acid with dipeptide bond containing sweetener. And already you know Alitame, it is one of the sweetener. It is 2000 times more sweetener than the cane sugar. Yes, my options are: it decomposes when added to the food items. Option B, it provides a huge number of calories to the food. Option C, it is difficult to control the sweetness of food while using it. Option D, it increases the volume of the contents to a large extent. When you observe the points, means options, Alitame, it is one of the artificial sweetener. It is 2000 times more sweetener than cane sugar. Means it is one of the more sweetness substance. Therefore, it is very difficult to control the sweetness of a food while using Alitame. Is one of the right answer. Therefore, C is the right answer. Next, move question number 24. Match the column 1 with column 2 and mark the appropriate choice. In column 1, they given bacteriostatic, bactericidal, narrow spectrum antibiotics and receptors. In column 2, they given crucial to body's communication process, inhibit growth of microbes, kill microbes, effective against single disease. Students, in these points already you know about bacteriostatic, bactericidal and narrow spectrum antibiotics. Narrow spectrum antibiotics means these are the antibiotics which concentrate on only one type of disease. Bactericidal means these antibiotics which kill the microbes or organisms. Bacteriostatic means they prevent only growth of bacteria. Therefore, if you observe the column 2 contents, here kill microbes, it is related to the bactericidal, and inhibit the growth of microbes related to the bacteriostatic. And narrow spectrum means concentrate on only single type of disease. Therefore, finally the answer is, which one is the answer? Okay, option B is the right answer. Next, question number 25. Which of the following chemicals can be added for sweetening of food items at cooking temperature and does not provide calories? Repeat my question. Which of the following chemicals can be added for sweetening of food items at cooking temperature and does not provide calories? Options are given: sucrose, glucose, aspartame and sucralose. Remember students, sucralose, it is one of the trichloro derivative of Sucrose. It can be added for sweetening of food items at cooking temperature and it does not provide any calories. Therefore, your answer is D. Next, question number 26. Which of the following is not used as a food preservatives? What are food preservative? These are the chemical substance which prevent the spoilage time of the food. Options are given: A. Table salt, B. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, nothing but sodium bicarbonate, option C. Cane sugar, option D. Benzoic acid. Among these, which one is not a food preservative? Take option A. Table salt, nothing but NaCl. Food like fish is preserved by the table salt. Option B. Sodium bicarbonate. It also prevent the spoilage of food. Option C. Cane sugar. Remember, it is not a food preservative. It is one of the carbohydrate. Option D. Benzoic acid. Benzoic acid, it inhibits the growth of mold, yeast as well as bacteria. Therefore, cane sugar is not a food preservative. Therefore, C is the right answer. Question number 27. Artificial sweetener used in soft drink is option A. Cellulose, aspartame, fructose, glucose. Remember, here except option B, like cellulose, fructose, glucose are the carbohydrates. But my question is, artificial sweetener used in soft drink is, here aspartame is only the artificial sweetener. Therefore, this is the right answer. Next, question number 28. Match the column 1 with column 2 and mark the appropriate choice. In the column 1, they given some examples, and in column 2, they given cationic detergents, non-ionic detergents, soap and anionic detergents. Before going to this question, students, in presence of cationic detergents, cationic part takes place in the cleaning action. In presence of anionic detergents, anionic part involves in the cleaning action. And what are soaps? Soaps are the sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. If you know this concept and apply here, then the right answer for this question is, observe the question answer. Which one is the right answer? Definitely answer D. D is the right answer for this question, because the first one, A, here this is the sodium salt of lauryl hydrogen carbonate. This is, what is this? This is sodium salt of lauryl hydrogen sulfate. And this one, B, this is one of the acetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. This is acetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. And C, example is given, it is polyethylene glycolic stearate or polyethylene glycol stearate. And this is one of the soap or sodium stearate, nothing but soap. Therefore, your answer is D. Next, question number 29. Very important. Sulfa drugs are used as. Sulfa drugs are used as. Students, I think you already know these sulfa drugs are also called as sulfonamides. This is one of the functional group. If you want to know more about the sulfa drugs, the first sulfa drugs is Prontosil. Prontosil, it is one of the first sulfa drug. These drugs kill the bacteria and fungi by interact with their metabolism. Sulfur drugs are used as, my question is, sulfur drugs used as, option A, precipitating bacteria, B, removing bacteria, C, decreasing the size of bacteria, option D, stopping the growth of bacteria. This is the right answer. Question number 30. The term broad spectrum antibiotic means bactericidal antibiotics, bacteriostatic antibiotics which kill or inhibit the wide range of gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. Option D, which will or inhibit all types of gram-positive bacteria. If you know the definition of broad spectrum of antibiotics, then directly you answer for this question. Definitely your answer is C, because the broad spectrum of antibiotics, it indicates which kill or inhibits the wide range of gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. Okay friends, we discussed some important questions on polymers in this video. These are very helpful for your CET as well as NEET exam. Thank you.